Hey guys, got some ripe bananas, so let's bake some healthy blueberry banana bread. We're gonna take these, mash them up really good, heat the oven to 350, take a loaf pan, 8x4, 9x5, whatever you have works, you can make it work. I'm gonna use coconut oil. You can also use butter or any other kind of oil you want. Spread it in and then put a parchment paper on the inside. See, I oiled it and then I put this on the inside. Now, you can use all-purpose flour, oat flour, spelt flour, whole wheat flour. Today, I'm gonna be using a mixture of all-purpose flour and oat flour. Now, instead of buying oat flour, you can make your own. That's what I do. I just put it in my coffee grinder or my blender till it looks like flour. But I'm gonna do half and half because that's what I feel like doing today. Okay, you're gonna mash up your bananas. So you add 1 or 2 teaspoons of vanilla, half a teaspoon of salt, mash it up. Then you're gonna add 2 eggs. When you're baking, it is always best to use room temperature eggs. My eggs are already room temperature because I buy fresh eggs from my friend who has a lot of chickens. And you don't have to refrigerate them. 2 eggs. Get that all stirred up. I am using coconut sugar. You can use honey, pure maple syrup, coconut sugar. In place of the Greek yogurt or the oil, you could absolutely use unsweetened applesauce. Now, honey is an excellent option. It's got great benefits for it. I personally like to use coconut sugar or pure maple syrup because it's lower on the glycemic index, so it has less effect on your blood sugar than regular sugar or honey. And this is anywhere between like 1/4 and 1/2 of a cup. I'm just gonna, depends on how sweet you like it. That's probably about 1/3 of a cup. Now, we're gonna add a little bit of cinnamon, probably about a teaspoon. And I'm gonna add anywhere between an eighth or 1/4 of a teaspoon of cardamom. That's gonna give it a nice, yummy flavor. I'm also gonna put the recipe in the description box. Also, adding cinnamon to your sweets helps balance your blood sugar as well. So, that's a little tip for you. I want to apologize if you're not really a baker, because sometimes people that aren't really good at baking get upset if there's not like perfect measurements. But let me tell you something. If you're like a measurer where everything has to be perfect, you probably don't want to bake with me, because I love baking. I'm naturally good at it. And I don't always measure. Teaspoon of baking powder. I think I only have 1 serving left of this plant protein, so I'm just gonna put 1 or 2 scoops. And this is vanilla. Yeah, it's about 2 scoops. And then I'm gonna use 1/2 cup of 3/4 a cup all-purpose flour, 3/4 a cup homemade oat flour. Now, you absolutely don't have to, but I always like to add like ground flax or ground chia just for some added protein, fiber, omega-3 healthy fats. So I'm gonna add maybe 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed. Okay, now you've got a nice thick batter. And I do not have regular blueberries, so I am using frozen. You're gonna wanna use anywhere between 1 cup to 1.5 cups. And you're gonna gently fold them in here. These are still frozen. I thawed them a tiny bit, but not very much. Just gently fold them in there. And if you get a little bit purple, nobody's gonna care. It's still gonna be delicious. That's the whole point, right? To enjoy the food you're eating. So I'm gonna pour this into the prepared pan. It's not gonna be aesthetic or beautiful, but let me tell you what, my food tastes good. So that's all that matters. I've got this in my prepared pan. You can add pecans, walnuts, chopped almonds on top, inside, whatever you want. That's the cool thing about baking is you can add your own mix-ins and bake it at 350 for anywhere between 45 and 55 minutes. Check it at 45 minutes. I'm gonna pull this out of here, let it cool, and then we're gonna taste it. It has fully cooled. Let's taste test. Sorry I don't have the nutritional info because I added some yogurt and ooh, looks moist. Mmm. 9.8.